Hey, welcome back to another edition. I really should say episode, Joe, of National High School Football, better known on the internet as nationalhsfb.com. Guys, if you have not checked out our website, you are missing a treat because it's like-minded football fans across the country getting together on one website and talking about this game that we love so much, which is high school football. And with that said, we have a treat for you guys this morning. And that is Coach Jube Joseph, the newly minted head coach of the Miami Central Rockets down in South Florida. How are you, Coach? Welcome to the show.
Fellas, how you doing, man? Appreciate you for having me. I'm doing great.
Yes, sir. Joe, why don't you get us kick-started with your first question?
Will do, Coach. We have 5 questions that were sent to us by our passionate fans on nationalhighschoolfootball.com. We're going to take them one at a time, okay?
Okay.
All right, first one is from Aztec Madre. She wants to know, in the past, you've scheduled some of the top out-of-state games ever. Don Bosco, Bishop Gorman, St. John Bosco, St. John's of D.C., St. Francis. With you now at the helm, are you going to continue that tradition of scheduling awesome out-of-state games every season?
Yeah, that's a given. Kids know when they come sign up for the Green and White on 95th Street, that Rocket brand, that Rocket standard, that we signed up to play the best, because we know in order to be the best, you got to beat the best, and we don't shy away from anybody in the country.
Coach, talking about that standard that you just mentioned, I want to read a quote that from this article from the Miami Herald from not too long ago, right after you were named head coach. It says the Rockets were already a power before Joseph got there, but the coach's arrival in 2019 coincided with Central becoming Miami-Dade County's preeminent powerhouse, and his defense was maybe the biggest reason, unquote. What did you bring to the table when you joined the staff that elevated that program to a higher level?
I think I guess that's a good question. I'd say I think we brought it back to the basics defensively.
Okay.
You know, as far as bringing a standard and holding the kids accountable on the defense. And ensuring pride, you know, because I am from the Miami Central area. You know, my daycare was across the street from Miami Central.
Okay.
So, you know, this is rooted in me, and just more so instilling that pride as to, you know, what and why we do what we do, you know. And when kids have a reason and they can move intentionally when playing this sport, then success is inevitable. And that's how we've been moving for the past 3 years since I've been here at Miami Central. I've been here since 2019, and we've won 3 straight state championships. But we've won those on the backs of kids understanding that pride and playing together and playing for the community is what we do it for. You know, in today's, atmosphere and culture of the transfer world, you know, some kids are not from that area, you know, and we here at Miami Central, we make sure that our kids understand why they're actually playing this game and who they're playing it for and who they represent when they put those colors on. And that's what was key to us, you know, on our run for the last 3 years. We cultivated it on family, and defensively, that's what we really hung our hats on as well.
Hey, Coach, that's very similar. I know we're both Florida State guys, but that's very similar when the UM Canes were achieving their greatness. How it was all about the community. You're trying to emulate them, huh?
Right, bingo. Yeah. Like, because that's the thing about it is, you know, when you play with pride, that means you're playing for a reason, you know, and it's kind of hard in today's society where you kind of see the narrative of being an individual is being pushed on our youth. You know, when you're coaching a team sport, when you're letting them know, hey, man, that's your brother next to you. You need him just as much as he needs you. And if you guys work together, you guys can be successful. You know, we drive that home. If you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together.
Coach, I'm going to ask you, I guess it's a personal question on the defensive side of the ball. You know, when you got there, you elevated the program, and and you're a defensive-minded guy. You defense coordinator, just promoted to the head coach, right? And Central, you know, they have a history of winning and winning big. And in today's modern day football with the spread offenses everywhere, teams don't have a problem scoring on anybody and everybody. And the mindset to every head coach that I've ever talked to nowadays is you just got to outscore the other guy. But you are a defensive minded guy. And I noticed that one of the things that you brought to the Miami Central program was a renewed focus on defense. As a matter of fact, in 2019, you guys gave up an average of 18.3 points per game. In 2020, it went down to 8.7 points a game. In 2021, 13 points. So in the era of modern day spread football, where everybody's scoring a ton of points, your defenses are bucking the trend. What do you guys do so differently on defense?
I'd say our separation is in our preparation.
Okay.
You know, and our kids prepare. You know, it's a thing about a lot of kids watch film, but they're not taught how to study film.
Ooh.
You know, and they're not taught how to study their opponents and things of that nature. You know, it's crazy that we're the Rockets, but I use a metaphor and I say, yeah, we're the Rockets because we're the launching pad. You know, we're trying to get you ready for college.
Yeah.
So we're going to run a college style system. We're going to make sure we're going to have college style accountability. You know, we're going to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do in order to, because if you prepare the right way, then the game's already won before we even show up to the stadium. And our kids hang their hats on preparation, on scouting reports, on knowing where you're going to be before you even before you're actually there. See, me, I don't coach to the kids' capability. I coach to their capacity. You know, their capacity where I don't have to hold their hands for decision making on the actual field. You know, you got to be able to be a critical thinker and assess problems and things of that nature, because these are all tools that I'm equipping you with. So when you're after football, you can utilize this in real life.
Holy moly, Coach, I'm ready to run through a wall for you. Joe, what's your next question?
Let's go. All right, next question is from ECA Reject Son. I saw on Twitter recently that you hired Butta Wimberly from the local area. Any other additions to the staff coming? What do you intend to do going forward? Are you going to keep most of the coaches who are there? Or are you going to be adding some new members?
Okay, so the article that the Miami Herald put out on me, and it was titled "If It Ain't Broke, Don't Fix It." Yeah. I'm a straight shooter. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't have time to go around anything. We've won 3 straight state championships in a row. We're working on our 4th. We're doing something right football wise. You get what I'm saying? This is our 8th championship in 11 years. You know, I always tell people all the time, you know, if you think of the standard of winning in college football, first thing people say is Alabama, you know, and I say, why? And they say, because they got like 6 championships in 11 years. I say, well, we got 8. So in the state of Florida, we're the standard of winning in high school football. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But me hiring Coach Wimberly, that's more so like, you know, you have a Benz and you put some rims on your Benz. You know, he is a big part of the youth football scene in South Florida. I don't know if you guys are aware of how we do things down here, but that is a major thing that we have. If you come on any Saturday in a 5-mile radius, you'll find more than 4,000 people at every park because youth football is huge in South Florida, and he's just a burgeoning coach that I felt like was a young talent that needed a shot. And you know, one thing about me, I wouldn't be in a position right now speaking to you if I didn't get a shot from the great Roland Smith. So, you know, I'm here and that's what I'm here to do as well. I'm here to create opportunities for people who are hardworking and who have shown that they have the prowess and the potential to elevate in this industry.
Well, Coach, I heard you mention Coach Roland Smith, and you're right. He's for Miami Central. He's been the standard for a long, long time. I think over the last decade, he's won 6 titles?
Yes,
something like that. So in that same article that you just cited, where it's titled "If It Ain't Broke, Don't Fix It," right? And you give a nod to that, but in the same article, in a later quote, you kind of hint at there's might be a little bit of change coming. Here's what I mean. You said, quote, "My plan is to uphold the standard, uphold the brand, but also in this respect to actually enhance it and take it to new heights." What did you mean by that?
Okay, well, and that's the thing about it. Roland Smith, to me, I always laugh and joke with him, and I sit right behind him on the bus
Yeah.
as we go to the stadium, and I always say, Coach, you probably forgot more football than I know, you know, and I just love to be a fly on the wall. I'm always asking him questions about the old days when he was at Northwestern, or I just love hearing the same football stories that he tells over and over
Right,
and over
right.
again. And I never tell him, hey, Coach, you told me that one already. I'll just re-listen because I just want to re-experience what he was saying. But for me, also on the staff, they know I'm a younger guy. So there's going to be a different approach as far as technological advances and things of that nature that we're going to try to do. We're going to try to promote this brand and put it on a higher platform, and just do some more things in the community as well, and just have to give our kids a little bit more exposure through different avenues of
Yep.
the different things and different platforms. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
like Roland, he's a little older, so some stuff, it's like your parents, like, well, baby, come help me with this text message. You got to show them how to do certain things. So for me, I feel like I have the opportunity to take the program to new heights through just different ventures and things of that nature as well.
Gotcha.
All right,
I'm assuming those different ventures include Joe and playing some of these national powerhouses.
Oh, of course,
Hell
man.
yeah.
That's mandatory. That's
Yeah.
mandatory. Like when you sign up for this Rocket brand right here, I tell the kids all the time, we wear it like Gucci. This is our brand right here.
I
We wear
love
it
it.
like Gucci.
Right.
We wear it with pride. We don't have a rocket head and the word rocket. No. You see the rocket head, you already know what it is throughout the country. So we know that when we wear this, we're prepared to play anybody that's willing to show up or willing to allow us in their wonderful home.
Wow.
And Larry, when we opened up our company in 2015, one of the first clients we got was Coach Smith and the old AD, Harold Barnwell. They told me, Joe, find us the best game every year. We don't care. And that's how they ended up playing St. Francis and St. John Bosco and all these great teams. They want the best. They want the smoke.
Yep, we want this, and that is exactly what we look. We want the smoke. We ready to do whatever. We ready to show up and let's go.
Well, to make that happen, you got to have great coaching, like Joe just alluded to. You got to have a great administrator, but you also have to have great players as well. And you guys have had no shortage of great players. Now that you're taking over the program, who are some of the playmakers that we can be on the lookout for?
The first person that comes to mind would be Ruben Bain, the back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year for the state of Florida. He ended the season off this year with 29 and a half sacks. Ruben Bain's been starting since his freshman year. He's won 3 state championships. He's about to be, I guess, the second player in the state of Florida. If things work out this year, which we that's what we're going for, is our 4-peat. Could be the second player in the state of Florida to have 4 state championship rings.
Wow.
He is an elite kid. He's really stepped into the light of being a leader. Just dominant overall, great in the classroom. Another player of ours is our leader, Kewan Jenkins. He's our quarterback. Can't say enough about him. He leads the team in every aspect, makes plays. I'm gonna be honest with you. And we also have another quarterback, and a lot of people didn't really realize that, but we ran a dual quarterback system last year
Wow.
with Dylan Tulloch, who also was a junior and stepped up big because Kewan got hurt after the Bosco game, and he had to lead us. And once Kewan got back, they both just split time. And the thing that stood out to me was that there was no bickering, there was no side conversations. It was just reassuring and fulfilling to see 2 teenagers support each other in that capacity. And that's rare in this world where
That's
these
right.
guys weren't selfish and they were more selfless. And of course, I got to talk about one of my top playmakers, Josiah Trader, who came with us. Athlete, amazing, makes plays, a leader, just Mr. Make it happen. That ball touches, he'll take a 5-yard hit 60. And he'll take an interception 90 yards as he did in the state championship game. So, when I talk about top players, those are some of my top players. And I also have a running back, Ian Pope, who ran for over 1,000 yards, sharing the backfield with 2 other backs who also had over 900 yards.
Wow.
So he's a returning starter as well. And these are guys that, I feel as though on their backs, they can lead us to the promised land once again. Off a state championship team, I'm returning 9 starters on the offense. So we're looking really good on offense with our guys, and on defense. Yeah, we're young on defense, but they've all had quality playing time. Quality playing time. And not one kid has not started a high school football game. They've all been in that pressure cooker. So, but like I said, those are some of the guys when it comes to those top players on my team that I feel as though they're going to deliver. And what stands out to me is not really the statistics, though, Larry. The statistics don't really stand out to me because I tell them all the time, I don't really care about talent. And it may come off weird to you, but I really care about character, because character can supersede talent. Because with character, that kid's going to work hard. That kid's going to run through a brick wall for you. And these guys have just been blessed to have character and talent. And that's a testament to their parents and the people that raised them.
And a lot of your stars in the past also led by example. They're great leaders on the field.
Bingo. It's a tradition. It's a standard. Right. These guys, when they walk into that weight room and they see all those years up on that wall, they're haunted by the ghost of greatness. They're haunted by it, and they have to uphold it.
Gotcha. Okay. Joe, what's next?
All right, we got another question, another one from one of our female fans, Andrea Stanley. She wants to know, how will the new class, the way they're doing Florida classes now, as of last week, how will that affect you going forward?
I'm going to be honest with you. I leave that to the powers that be as far as classifications and things of that nature. I know they got us in a 2M metropolitan, and it's just gonna be competitive. But that's nothing that we're not used to. That's why we call you, Joe, for the big games.
That's right.
We're not afraid. They could call me and say the Broncos are coming into town. All right, meet us on the 50. And that's the mentality that our kids have. We're just gonna show up and play. We don't care who they say we got to play. We're gonna play. Let's go. So to be honest, like the classifications, there's a lot of back and forth with it, and we leave that to the powers that be as far as the discussions of things of that nature. But we can only control what we can't control it right now. Those are our districts. That's who we're playing, and our kids are going to be. And that's the thing about me. My job is to get my kids ready for what's in front of us, and that's what's in front of us for now.
Gotcha. Well, given that the reclassification stuff is literally brand new, couple weeks old now, have you had a chance to work on your schedule next year? And if so, can you give us a sneak peek on some of the top teams that you're going to be playing?
I'll be honest with you. The only thing that we really have been working on is the district so far. Because I literally just stepped in on Monday. Yeah. So, and I mean, we got top teams in our district. We got Miami Norland in our district. And that's going to be a barn burner as well. Like those are pretty good teams. Just the Miami area by itself, like just in our class by itself, you got to think about it. You got Miami Killian, who's gone undefeated last year, in the playoffs. You got Miami Northwestern, who's always a power. You got Miami Edison, who's making waves last year as well. Booker T, who's always been a consistent, and they have Tim Ice Harris back,
and coach is back,
the legend. So you know what I'm saying? Like and I told people, I said, this gives you back that old '90s feel from when I was growing up in Miami, where all the juggernauts had to play each other. Some feel as though it's a lot of things going on with the classification. So like I said, I'll leave that up to the powers that be. But those are some teams that are in the actual classification that may have to align to play each other. American Heritage, Cardinal Gibbons, things of that nature.
You forgot one team I'm waiting for you to say. All of us would love to see you play Aquinas every year.
Oh, St. Thomas Aquinas. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there, Yep,
Forget St. Thomas Aquinas. You need a bigger challenge like Lowndes, Coach.
I see Lowndes wants something up, man. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for.
Coach, he just wants to do that because that's such a far bus trip. He thinks you guys are going to be tired from the long ride, and they may take advantage of you.
Oh, man. Y'all know my boy Larry wouldn't do me like that. Larry don't do me like that.
Listen, Coach, the only thing I can promise is, before the game, I'll walk onto the field, shake your hand, and just ask you not to be upset with me, after Lowndes beats Miami Central.
See, there you
No
go.
way.
There you go.
Hey, we're gonna save this interview for some bulletin board material.
He must have another Greg Reed over there.
Yeah.
Now, there was only one Greg Reed in a lifetime, that's for sure. Another Florida State guy.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Coach, here's my last question for you. Joe may have another one, but we've been talking about Roland Smith, and I heard you say a couple times in your answers how you focus your answers on the kids. You said in one answer, you really like it when you have a high character kid. In this article, there's a quote attributed to you. It says, "The one thing that stuck with me the most is he always told me," you were referring to Coach Roland Smith.
Yes.
You said, "The one thing that stuck with me the most is he always told me, quote, any decision you make, put the kids first. You put the kids first and you'll never be wrong. That's something that I'll keep with me for the rest of my career." Is that something that you've always grown up with? Is that something that just Coach Smith reinforced, introduced you to? But because it seems like it's a key part of who you are as a coach.
It's just reinforced. It's just good to know that my intentions have always been validated through, and just hearing it from a great legend, and because he's accomplished so much in his career, and for him to accomplish so much in his career, and knowing that through all the success, that was the crutch that he leaned on, and knowing that that's something that I've always leaned on, it just made it reassuring to me, because that is one thing that I do is I'm constantly about the kids. I'm constantly about self-evaluation, just constantly about self-preservation, and because winning is a byproduct of creating successful, functional kids in society. You know what I'm saying? These championships, they come and go, but creating high character people to go into society and be functional adults, that's priceless. So and a lot of times we get kind of lost in the maze of X's and O's and who's playing who and who's holding up the trophy at the end of the year. But really, the true victory is the impact that we have on these kids' lives. The fact that we're used, and I tell the coaches all the time, we're vessels of information and love. We're vessels of information and love pouring to these kids through the game of football. And that's just what it is. A lot of these kids needs football more than football needs them. And especially coming from the inner city of Miami, where we're coming from, these kids need to see that and need to feel that, because a lot of times, they may forget how you look or what you say, but they will never forget the way you make them feel. And I'm always put my kids first in any aspect, any opportunity, any capacity.
That's a great perspective, Coach. It really is. Joe?
Is there any way you'd entertain in the next year or two a special high school football event where it's Dade against the world, where like 3 or 4 Dade teams play whoever the best competition we could bring in?
Without a doubt, man. Listen, we don't care. That's the way we cut down here in Dade County, man. We are not afraid of anyone. And then some people think they're cocky, they're arrogant. Oh, we're confident. We're confident in our preparation. We're confident in how we train. We're confident in how we build. We're confident in how we uplift our kids. We're confident. We won the game before we even showed up. I'm not saying that you guys are far more inferior than us, but guess what? At the end of the day, it's not about you or who we play. We just know that if we do what we have to do within ourselves, we'll beat anybody.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you, 3 words that really, really stand out to me about you as we end this interview is I can tell that you are a very confident man, and that must rub off on your kids, and I can see why they play so well for you. You are a very highly competent guy as well, especially on the defensive side, as evidence to what you've been able to do the last 3 years with holding some high-powered offense to very low scores. And Coach, I think just as important as you're a good sport. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you. This has been a very, very fun interview. It really has. And Coach, we appreciate your good nature, humor, and we thank you so much for joining nationalhsfb.com this morning.
Hey guys, I thank you guys for allowing me to come on this platform. Anytime I get a chance to talk about this Rocket brand and this Rocket standard, I love it. And anytime I get a chance, Larry, to talk about a potential game with the Lounge, hey, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my staff because I'm saying, hey man, Larry been talking. So we may have to revisit this.
Do me
Joe,
a favor,
you got me
Coach.
recorded, right, Joe? Joe, you got me recorded now. My noble brother, you got me recorded.
All right, do me a favor, Coach. Let's just end this interview with the world here. You say, "Go Vikings."
Oh, all right. Go Rockets. 92.
Thanks for your time, Coach. We'll
All right,
catch
brother,
you later.
Take care.
All right, see you, brother.